Woodstock.
Thank you.
Could you introduce yourself and what do you have at the show?
Well, I'm Bernie Lehmann, and this is a triple O concert size guitar made with Sitka spruce and ebony. It has lots of detail on it, including chip carving on the edge and a sound hole which is pierced. This model, the Model 2000, harks back to earlier guitars from the 16 and 1700s in a way, for some of the stylistic details that come from lutes and early guitars. I always admired the style and construction of those old ones. Now this one has a multi-piece scalloped back to it. It's made of ebony, and each of these ribs is scalloped and then arched as well. So it's a vaulted back, and it requires no bracing, and so it's very light and increases the air inside the instrument.
Nice shaped heel as well. Nice shaped heel.
Yes, this is again the old style cone heel like they used to use. So this is what I call my neo-Baroque guitar. The next one is a double O size guitar, 12 fret, and the back and sides are pear wood. Now, pear wood and fruit wood is quite a bit lighter than rosewoods and maples and all that, and it lends a nice warmth to the tone. I always use the sound port if I can, and this proportion of a guitar it's like a classical guitar, and it's a very successful and wonderful design. It gives a nice balance of overtones. Now I make some early historical guitar reproductions. This is a copy of a Renault and Chatelaine instrument made in 1790 in Paris. Structurally, it's a transitional guitar between Baroque guitars that were double strung, and this was an example of a very early 6-string only guitar. So it has inlaid frets, and the fingerboard and the top are flush together. So the frets are inlaid into ebony into the top. It's strung in nylon. And the back and sides are maple. Also has the cone heel, which is the old style. The pegs are peg head tuners that look like the old style friction tuners, but they have a 4-to-1 gear ratio with planetary gears in them, so they're very easy to tune. The next one is a copy of a Louis Panormo from 1830. He was a British maker who built in the Spanish style, and so he was the premier builder in his time, along with the French builder René Lacote. And so these are the two big names in 1830. It's a lovely guitar, and I love the balance of the pearl in it. It's just enough to give a little shine, and he also used a fan braced system, which is quite early, and so you get a lovely rich balanced tone out of this. The back and sides are maple. The necks are painted black, which is typical and historical for that time. Okay. And the last piece I have is like the first one. It's a Model 2000 with the chip carving and the lute style pierced rosette. I carve the bridge tails, give it a little detail, do some engraving on the bridge plate. The inlays are mother of pearl. in the back on this is Brazilian rosewood, also in the scalloped design. And it's very, very light. Now the neck on this one has been veneered with rosewood, so that it's a mahogany core with the rosewood on the outside.
Amazing. Wow. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful time at the show.
Thanks for coming.